Oh, I think they're doing a great job. A lot of them are.
Good afternoon, Dwayne. How are you?
Not too bad, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Radio Cayman's Talk Today with Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. If you're ready to talk, we're willing to listen.
Well, I really enjoy this program today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
May God bless every person.
Afternoon and welcome, and thank you so much for joining us in this edition of Talk Today. 949-8037 or 1-800-534-8255. Hey, we might start things off with some open line. Looks like at 1 p.m. get a chance for members of the government to come on and talk about the port. So stay tuned for Talk Today.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today, the Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program. We ask our listeners to avoid statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use any indecent language or make any statement which is false or misleading. Email talktoday at candw.ky or call 1-800-534-8255. Courtesy of Flow.
Cayman's #1 network that connects you to your world like never before.
Let your voice be heard. Once again, here's your host, Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome. It is a wonderful Wednesday. It may not be raining and wet outside, but hey, it's wonderful all around. 949-8037, 1-800-534-8255. Let's remember, 6:30 this evening, the government's having a political meeting over at the Family Life Center about the port. So come out and get the information as they have it, share with you. Perhaps there'll be an opportunity to engage in some dialogue, ask a couple of questions, get a few answers. Who knows, All important for us to be participants in our democracy, especially when we get a chance to, maybe hear firsthand as the government embarks on not just a major capital project, but one that is significant to our continued development, our economic stability, and certainly it's going to be one that's going to prove to be a significant financial investment for the country. So let's hear from you. 949-8037 or 1-800-534-8255. Before I forget, and Miss Susan admonishes me to remind you that tell your friends to go to YouTube and look at us. So that's somewhere there. You go and you find it. Subscribe. Be a part of our discussions either way as we hear from you. 949-8037. Or of course, you can WhatsApp 925-3261. We'll invite you to be a part of our discussion. Take your calls, have you share with us as you wish. It is open line and honored, honestly, to be able to, at times, not just sit in the company of many, but to be invited so graciously to be extended invitations, whether it's, a group of students, whether it's, a few business people who, some may look at and not really appreciate their significant contributions to our community, and to understand increasingly the amount of work that they do, and not just the work that they do, but equally the level of involvement, knowledge, commitment, and dedication to the country. So thank you to the group this morning in particular. I'm honored, honestly. It's amazing to see the people who are not just informed but are involved, who take a position, at least in a sense of sort of safety and confidentiality. They share freely and openly, knowing that their perspective is not only going to be respected, but they get a chance to share as openly as they can without being, as I said, condemned too much. So thanks for that. And to the rest of us, let's see what we can do to make, our contributions as invaluable, whether it's relative to, education, or whether it's something that we feel may be pertinent as it pertains to the port, or whether it's something that we think is relevant when we look at our environment and the like. 949-8037 or 1-800-534-8255. I invite you to share your thoughts with us. Now remember, this evening, 6:30 at the Family Life Center, the Honourable Tourism Minister, Honourable Deputy Premier, together with his ensemble, will be in attendance at the Family Centre for their political meeting in relation to the port and giving you a chance to have your input. Perhaps you may be unsure as to whether which way you would vote if there was a referendum, or whether you feel sufficiently informed. Perhaps you may be very adamant in your position for or against. And there's a chance to engage with those that we've elected, that we are given, that awesome responsibility to guide us into the future. And this project is not only going to cost us tens of millions or hundreds of millions, as some have speculated. It's going to be a project that could be around for decades, paid for by generations, one that's going to be our lifeline, whether in the tourism sector or whether supplying our cargo to our shores. So we should be informed and involved and have a chance to make a contribution. 8949-8037 or 1-800-534-8255. We want you to be a part of a discussion, so give us a shout. 949-8037 or 1-800-534-8255. Likewise, if you so choose, you can send us a WhatsApp, 925-3261. If your preference is to email, obviously, we extend that option to you as well. Talk today at candw.ky. Now, a few individuals had asked if I had been able to continue to follow up with respect to the beach accesses. Some have shared a few photos of instances where there's the beach access sign, but there are the gates. And for the handful of you who have been very, very vigilant, it's unfortunate, as one shared just recently, she had an experience where she was trying to access a particular marked beach access, and as she started to traverse the path, only to realize that whether it was deliberate or, as the person alleged, there was just an oversight, she wasn't able to continue unhindered, and she thought, this is unacceptable. Now, is it because there's no enforcement? Is it because people don't have sufficient knowledge that these access paths are supposed to be maintained, open, unfettered, clear access to and from the beaches? Or is it that just as she believes she was able to discern from her encounter with the individual, simply a case where people don't believe others should have access to our beaches? Now, she says that she tries to perhaps understand that perspective. You buy a place on the water. Do you want people to be able to move freely back and forth in what is, in a sense, your front yard, your backyard? But then how do we do it? Now, she says that it's going to get even worse if it's not addressed, in that increasingly not only are people planting vegetation, some of this invasive species. She told me the name of that really beautiful green leafy plant, but she says it's invasive and it will grow not just in the sand but into the water if you give it time. Now, if that happens and that is able to impede not only your movement back and forth across the beaches, but cause people to say, well, see, this is our property, see where the vegetation is at. But equally, some have also taken rope, snared it through posts, he says, and fenced off an area. Good, they should have some space for their people, but is there a way that we can respectfully enjoy it as the owners, guests and tenants of the properties, as well as the beachgoers? Now, she recognizes that some of us on both sides are very, not only irresponsible, but very, disrespectful of our use of the beaches. She shared that even not, just the other day, she saw on a very public beach a lot of debris, trash, things that perhaps may have washed ashore from the vessels just right offshore, not passing vessels, but also from where people have left them behind. And she thinks, that is unacceptable. But what is your view? Whether we talk about the port or the beaches, whether we talk about development and the need for a proper development plan, I'd like to share a couple of emails from some of you who have come through, perhaps intended for yesterday's discussion, but certainly, we want to share with you as well. 8949-8037 or 1-800-534-8255. Why don't we just pause quickly, take a short break. When we come back, we invite your calls, your contributions, your comments, your queries. Hey, you have something to say, we want to hear from you. So please stay tuned for Talk Today.
Did you hear that Vant Motors has your sale going on now? And you get your choice on the money you'll save on your new car or truck?
My sale? My choice? Really?
Yeah! And they have lots of cars on sale. Some up to $7,000 off.
Sounds pretty good.
It gets even better. You can choose to take the full discount or you can get some or all of it as cash back.
Extra cash back would be great.
Exactly. And you can even use the savings to extend your warranty or service plan so you'll drive worry-free for years longer.
Another good idea.
If you want to upgrade with something like a new roof rack or backup camera, you can choose that too.
Wow, I get to choose?
Yeah, that's why it's your sale, your choice. Going on now at Vant Motors on Walkers Road, while stocks last.
The Chamber of Commerce Business Excellence Awards are back. Saturday, October 27th at the Ritz-Carlton. Join in as we honor the contributions of the Cayman business community, celebrate the lifetime achievements of an outstanding business leader, and enjoy live musical entertainment. The Business Excellence Awards are proudly sponsored by the Ministry of Commerce, Brit-K, Caribbean Alliance, Coldwell Banker, Yellow Media Group, and more. Visit businessexcellenceawards.ky for more info. The Business Excellence Awards, Saturday, October 27th. For tickets, call 743-9129.
Congratulations, it's a boy.
During the greatest events of your life, whether or not you have the right health insurance coverage should be the last thing on your mind. That's why at Fidelity Health, we are committed to helping you get matched with the right plan to suit you and your family. We offer a range of plans to suit your budget, plus access to a network of quality care throughout the Caribbean and the USA. You can relax and enjoy life's greatest moments when you are covered with Fidelity Health. Call us today at 949-7822 for a free quote.
Earth, fire, wind, water.
Harness the magic power of the four elements during the Miss Cayman Miss World pageant Saturday, September 29th at the Hartwell Theater. Be on hand to see who will wear the crown and represent the Cayman Islands at the Miss World pageant. Tickets are limited, so purchase them today at Rock Gorgeous, Back to Health, and Beyond Basics for $50 general and $75 VIP, which includes a cocktail. Doors open at 6. Show starts at 7:30. Cash bar is available.
Witness the magic.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Welcome back to Talk Today. It's open line, and 1 p.m. we're going to have from the opportunity for you to share with us, members from the government. Hopefully, we'll get an opportunity to engage with some. We're still looking forward to that conversation. So we invite you to be a part of it then, 1 p.m. right after the news. But until then, there's some open lines, so we can take your calls and have you share your thoughts with us. Again, the government's meeting the center at 6:30 in relation to the port. Perhaps if you can attend, I know respectfully there are other things that are happening that are personal to many of us as well, as we share with the family. But that's when the meeting is scheduled. 8949-8037 or 1-800-534-8255, 949-8037 or 1-800-534-TALK. Likewise, you can message 925-3261. Trying to pull up a couple of WhatsApps that have come through. Let me just try to get them back on the screen for us and ask you what you think of it. So, number of you have asked, and as I look at this one and perhaps paraphrase, this one says that it's necessary that the islands develop a long-term development plan, and when we do, perhaps we need to consider what issues and things that of the nature that should be a priority in the plan. Others of you have shared your comments that is it a case that people who have objected to the port, is it because the status quo is in their favor? Or likewise, for those who are championing us moving forward with the expenditure and the development, is it because we would be perhaps better off, or at least perceived to be, as a result of its development? Now, the question obviously, as the small group of business guys this morning shared with me, how can we get a very objective, impartial, rational discussion on our infrastructure issues, whether it's the port, the seaport, or the airport, whether it's our roads, or construction of schools, or healthcare issues, health insurance, including provision of health services. How can we get to a point where these discussions are simply based on, as much as possible, a rational, informed position, and not, as one of the guys shared, this vitriolic, at times almost biased perspective where many of the individuals seem to take a position based on how it will affect them positively or negatively, as opposed to, well, what are we doing for the long-term good, benefit, development, prosperity, stability, and the like of the country. He said that there was a former member of the Legislative Assembly who, to this day, they enjoy a very, very healthy friendship. And partly, well, they don't necessarily agree on this thing. One may think this is important, and the other, whether he's the elected one or not, nope, that's not a priority. And they argue back and forth, but they always seem to, at the end of the day, come to an understanding that their friendship, that healthy respect for dialogue, is more important. Now, there are times, he said, where they have agreed that the government should do this. This should be something that should be a priority. But the approach, the timing, perhaps the level of expenditure, the participation of others external to government, or even the involvement of a government agency that may not necessarily be seen as one that should be involved at all. He said as an example, he recalls a time when he was trying to say to the politician, if you were going to move forward with this particular project, yes, you want to reach out to your finance people. Yes, you want to reach out to your technicians in roads or some other area that has that engineering, that technical skill. Of course, those are the people who will help you with developing the plan, project managing, and the like. But have you thought about another area of government that could, whether it's the auditors and the like, so that they can not just help you to navigate the system, but position you so that if the public looks at it, it'll be looked at as a way to say we're moving forward and we're trying to do this as best as possible in a timely, cost-effective manner, but as open and transparent as possible. Now, what are your thoughts? 949-8837 or 1-800-534-8255. Thanks to one of our listeners who has a question. We'll ask whether the 800 tips hotline, that number that we can dial whenever we have to, desire to make an anonymous tip about something, whether that is working or not. Be honest with you, I don't know directly, but I can, if you allow me to say, find out directly for you whether it's working. If those of you out there know for sure or can inquire, let us know. One of our listeners has asked them whether the 800 tips hotline is working or not. Seems that from time to time, a few people have shared that they have tried it, but it always isn't connected. Thankfully, that's not very often that we've heard that. Doesn't mean that it doesn't transpire more so. But to the short answer, no, I haven't at this stage, but we will inquire to see whether we can find out. 8949-8837, 1-800-534-8255, or you can WhatsApp 925-3261. As we invite your calls, have you share your thoughts with us. Let's go to our phones. 1-800-534-TALK. It's a toll-free call. 1-800-534-8255. And if you want, you can always call 949-8837. Hey, good afternoon and welcome. You're on Talk Today.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sterling.
Good afternoon, ma'am. How are you today?
I'm just wondering, when are we going to let our Caymanians have a job instead of being or try to replace some of these expats that are working on permits? I know there's a lot of Caymanians now trying to find jobs, and I think they need to be first choice, because you go into the supermarkets, to the banks, the hospitals. I don't know what these people are doing to get their jobs. I don't know if they have a degree or what, but I know some of them come from beauty salons, and you see them into the offices. I mean, can you tell me why Caymanians can't really get these jobs? They're security people in the government places. Why can't these jobs be filled by Caymanians? I would like to listen. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. And very interesting that callers share that perspective. We had an individual, reflect. Says in the Cayman context, you have a scenario where we have increasingly, numbers of people on a work permit, and even if we were to exclude those who work either in the public sector or are employed in a capacity where the immigration status is now allowing them to work without having to be required to obtain a work permit. Now that could be because they are in a particular status, maybe they're awaiting some appeal, but they're here legally and just not requiring a work permit at present. And then we're seeing seemingly an increasing number of people who are registered as unemployed, not just underemployed, but as unemployed. The question the fellow was asking is, how is that dynamic able to exist in our economy? We have seemingly more jobs than we have people to fill those jobs, so we bring people in to fill those jobs. And yet we have people who say, well, I can't get a job. I'm registered. Now, he recognizes that there may be a number of factors at play, but certainly if there are instances where people are saying, I'm genuinely pounding the pavement looking for a job, and I'm being told, well, you don't have the qualifications, or you're overqualified, or sorry, we don't have a position, and the person is able and willing to do, a job for which there is someone on a permit. Is that something that should be able to be allowed? Now, what is your thought? I can say that there are many employers who will share with you, end of the day, they don't care who it is that they've hired, as long as that person is competent and reliable, person presents the proper disposition, able to work with the staff and with the customers, the guests, the clientele, do the job that needs to be done, not present a danger to others and the like. I mean, the things that you would probably think should be obvious. Sure, come on board. This is what we're paying. This is what the company offers. Once you come to work and do the job, your paycheck is yours. Some will tell you that they know they've had challenges with many, and perhaps having that person on a work permit, they are guaranteed that the person will come to work well because of a number of things. That person is determined that this option is better than the next viable option. Person has perhaps feel a sense of obligation. Perhaps the person is, as some have shared, maybe feel indentured. But nonetheless, from the employer's perspective, we need the work to be done. This body is here not just to collect a check, but to equally, do the work. Now, have we developed that strong work ethic amongst our people to ensure that they attend work when they need, do the job that's supposed to be done, and in a competent, responsible, reliable fashion? 8949-8037 or 1-800-534-8255. Likewise, you can email talktoday@candw.ky. If you choose, you can send us a WhatsApp, 925-3261. Now, a couple of comments have come through electronically. I want to have a quick look at those. Judging by what I see, it seems that they relate to the port. This one seems to be of the position that, hey, we've talked about the port long enough. Let's get on with it. It's going to, cost. It's going to perhaps do some impact on the environment. But what is more important? Looking after what's out there or looking after what's in here, i.e., us, our families, our children, our futures. Let's get the port going, it says. 949-8037 or 1-800-534-8255. No particular order, but let me take the next one. If I can read this one quickly. Says, good afternoon. Read the port. Okay. Can I indulge you and perhaps change that slightly? This person says the discussion of the port isn't the only one that is, passionate about, but it's one that I think is infuriating. It says it's not only that it's the government's perspective, but it has seen many. I think I should call people goats, but anyway, that's what it says here. So many of the supporters are full on board with this, not full understanding the impact that it's going to have, not just for the environment and the potential, consequence for the 7 Mile Beach area, but the quality of life and the experience of many of the visitors. Says I work in, so it identifies where the person says the person works. So it's one of the hospitality sector, and shares that the comments from the guests always seem to relate to the fact that we seem to be overdeveloping, that the experiences that they have each time they come isn't as nice as the time before. This person gives an example, and the reason why I'm looking at it this way is that I'm advised that we don't want to be identifying things that could cause some to feel slighted and the like. But they suffice it to say that this person's view is that yes, we need to move forward, but not at the expense of our future. Let's go to our phones though. Hey, good afternoon and welcome. You're on Talk Today.
Sterling, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, not too bad. How are you, sir?
Hanging in there, fighting and going, one day at a time. Open your eyes in the morning, you got to give Lord thanks.
Amen to that, man. He allows you to see through another day.
Every day I do that, man,
Likewise.
All right, now, how long I have to make a couple of those statements here?
You go ahead and make your statements, and when Susan says she had enough for me and you, now just go ahead.
All right, okay. I got cut off this morning. I was trying to talk with OJ there. But the minute I started to talk something about taxes, he said, he only talking about taxes.
Okay. I tell you what, so that we don't interrupt you, I'm looking at the hour, we are at 1:45. You hold on, we will take the break, and then you can come talk as long as you're after that. Would that work for you? You want us to call you back?
Take a break.
All right, cool. When we get back, this caller will tell us what he's saying.
Save the dates, Cayman, for HomeFest 2018, Cayman's Home Expo. Join A.L. Thompson's and more than 60 exciting vendors Friday and Saturday, September 28th and 29th. Why does HomeFest get bigger each year? Because you ask for it. You want new products, more demos, and more interaction, so we bring them to you. If you want cutting-edge and once-a-year savings, join us for Cayman's Home Expo. It's HomeFest at A.L. Thompson's.
The Advance Automotive Chevrolet $10,000 birthday giveaway is still on. Buy any new Chevrolet from Advance Automotive and enter to win $10,000 cash. Entries close 1st of December or after 100 cars sold, whichever comes first. Pick up a brand new Chevrolet Trax compact SUV, the most equipped SUV in its class. Now reduced to just $19,995. Get the best deal in Cayman and enter to win $10,000 cash. Visit the showroom on Owen Roberts Drive or visit AdvanceChevrolet.com for more details today.
We're building resilience one pipeline at a time. For the past 35 years, the Water Authority has been working to build a reliable piped water distribution network to better serve you in both fair and stormy weather. Visit our website or follow us on social media for useful hurricane preparedness tips and important updates in the case of an extreme weather event. This hurricane preparedness tip is brought to you by Water Authority Cayman, suppliers of the world's most popular drink.
Autumn is here, and Ed says, Anita, let's have a huge sale September 26, 27, 28, and 29. So, what do? I bring the savings to you. Stop by International Lighting and save 20 to 50% off selected items, including chandeliers, ceiling fans, light fixtures, and LED bulbs. While you're there, go upstairs to the bathroom pallets and take 20% off bathroom cabinets. Don't miss the linen department. Take 20 to 50% off rugs, sheets starting at $14, 8-piece comforters from $48, curtains starting at $6, 20% off all household items. International Lighting and Design, upstairs and downstairs, Ed's Plaza North Sunway. Open 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Call 949-5141. And for outdoor shopping, stop by the entrance of the Bodentown Church of God Chapel Saturday from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and take 20% off items. In addition to all of these savings, spend $25 or more and be entered in the drawing for a chance to win a round trip to Denver, Atlanta, New York, Chicago, Miami, Jamaica, or Honduras. Drawing will take place on December 22nd.
Attention Breeze Fusion fans and supporters, registration is now open for the 12th annual Grand Cayman Breeze Fusion 5K Walk Run. We're calling on you to help us in raising funds for the NCBO and for the John Gray High School Musical Department. Registration is only $15 for adults if registered by September 30th. The walk run will take place on Saturday, November 3rd at the Smiths Bacadeer in Grand Cayman. But you must be registered by September 30th to take advantage of the lower fee. Visit CaymanActive.com to register today or stop by Radio Cayman on Elgin Avenue.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. 949-8037 or 1-800-534-TALK. We have a gentleman on the line. Sir, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us.
I still here.
Yes, sir.
Really.
Yeah, thanks again. Really appreciate it.
Sure, man. I tried to get on yesterday when you had Miller and Sean there. Or Sheen, rather. But
Sean.
I had enough. For some reason I couldn't get on. I had wanted to say a couple words to them, but I couldn't really get on. All right, talking about the dock, right? Now, I ain't no expert, no genius or nothing like that. But I know, I guess everybody know, that nature built this island. No man never made the island. Right, so I'll start there. Now, about a dock, we definitely need a dock. I see where we need a dock. A dock would benefit the island, yes. But I don't see that we need a dock in Georgetown. Now, saying this is a couple of reasons why I say that. One reason is Georgetown is already congested. And if you're going to put them big ships up there by the dock, it's going to get worse. And I don't hear them saying nothing about doing anything about that. Another thing is, I walked 7 Mile Beach from the time I was 5, 6, 7 years old. I used to catch fish along the beach and fry it and eat it. My mother used to run me off the beach 7:30 in the morning to go to school. I used to go to Mr. School. And I would have a bucket of fish to leave with my uncle to cook for dinner, clean to cook for dinner.
Right.
Now, I was seeing what the tides and the currents and the flow water do with 7 Mile Beach. You take it out this time and it carry it to one direction, it come back and it take it and carry it to another direction. Now, with nobody that I know that have heard or know for sure that this thing is not going to destroy 7 Mile Beach or mess up 7 Mile Beach, let me put it that way. And if it destroys 7 Mile Beach, you could have 10 docks and not going to help the situation then. Another thing is, right now, you got 18 feet of water by that dock in Georgetown. And when you get heavy northwesters there, thing like that, the water comes up over the dock and come up in the streets. You have to close off the streets and things. Now, they're talking about dredging it down to 40 feet, 60 feet. Now, if you got a glass of water and you throw it out on the ground, it can only go so far. If you got a bucket of water and you throw it, it go much further. Now, if you got 18 feet and it's doing that with 18 feet, what's going to happen when they put 40, 60 feet water there? Feet of water there. What's going to happen when you get a bad weather? We're going to come up by the post office or what? Nobody knows or thinks about these things, seem like. Georgetown is a place, like I said, congested as it is. It should be no traffic going through Georgetown when the cruise ship people are there, period. I was just in Isle of Pines. Well, you know, Cuba's not built up like this. I was in Isle of Pines for a month. And as small as Isle of Pines, as little as they got there. In the center of the town in Haruna, they got a street there. It's got pavement on it and all that. And where the shopping and thing is, no bicycles, no cars, and nothing can go in there. That's walking free. You can walk free. You're not going to be looking around, see if a car coming or this or that. I think they should try to do something with Georgetown like that. That's number one. Again, you put a dock in Georgetown, you got heavy northwesters and then coming in there. The ships can't come by the dock. You can't use the dock, and in the case, they got to go spots or they bypass, whatever.
Right.
So that's a couple of reasons, well, I think that the dock should not go in Georgetown. Captain Theo had said one time that the dock should go to Red Bay. Mr. Hulston and Mr. Jackson have done some plans the other day to put the dock in Red Bay. Now, I heard or saw I put a little piece on the Facebook too.
Right.
The website there. But I heard where Mr. Moses is saying about helping the local people and helping the taxis and the tour operators and this and that and next thing like that. Well, all of that is good, yes. But what I was saying is, right, think about this. If they was to put the dock in Red Bay, they got some buildings there on the lower part of it now, but up on the upper part of it, the dock could still go there. That's where they should have put it to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
They're not moving the reef. They're putting down the seam pile and things that's round hole in the dock to get it out on the outside of the reef to keep the reef from washing away. You never, ever really get that kind of heavy sea coming in from out of the south side, southeast like that, out of the south like that. The dock there in there could be used all year round. All you have to do is open the channel. Now, suppose you had the dock up there, and you got, well, let me go this way first. If you got one ship in Georgetown, all the taxi people know, a lot of people know this. Yeah. About half the taxis or so go home the whole day out there and not make a dollar. One ship, the people walk off the ship and this and that. If you got one ship in spots, everybody go home with $300-400, more or less. Why? Because the people have to pay $5 to come from spots to town. Now, if they had the dock in Red Bay, I'm not saying that you're going to charge them $5, but you could charge them $4, because actually that's what the charge is there to go up there now anyway. So,
yes, sir.
If you had 18,000 people there, 5 or 6 ships, maybe only 15 coming in town, but that's 15,000 times 4, which is $60,000.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, they got to go back, so that's $120,000 you're talking about taxes and like that. That's just the taxes. Now, that's not talking about the tours. They're not talking about 7 Mile Beach, because from spots to the beach is $7. But okay, you charge $6 from Red Bay. The tours is actually $25 from spots, $20 from Georgetown. It could be the same $25 from Red Bay, the tours. They're talking about helping the taxis and the thing. That's a way they would have a lot of money to spend locally in the stores and this and that and whatnot. Right. All of those things is benefit for having the dock at Red Bay. I don't see where it's any benefit no more than people walking off the ship in Georgetown and walking to stores. That's the reason they want to put them there.
Right. Well, certainly appreciate it, man. Anything else you want to share with us before we take the other call?
Yeah, what I'm afraid about is that the thing with 7 Mile Beach. I don't know, and I don't think anybody knows what's going to happen with that if that changes the tide there.
Mm-hmm.
They got one house there in Westville by the market there, where the old market was by the museum. I don't know if you've been there or seen it lately. The part of the house is in the water, and sometimes you got 3.5 feet of water, 2.5 to 3.5 feet of water around that little house, and it takes all the sand away from there and carries it out, and it's pure rocks there.
Yeah.
That's just that corner of that house. Now, when you put a dock off out there, it's definitely going to change the flow of the water. I cannot tell you that it's going to damage the beach, but I don't know that it won't either.
I hear you, man. All right, well,
you understand?
That's a good point.
But I think they should put the dock in Red Bay. They should put the dock in Red Bay. You got year-round working. You don't have to worry about all that kind of thing. That's where the dock should go, in Red Bay.
All right. Hey, thanks, sir. Thank you very, very
much.
All
right.
Have
okay.
a good
Thank
afternoon.
you for making me stay that little while.
No,
Thank you very much.
Thank you too, sir. And let's take the other call. Good afternoon. Welcome. You're on Talk Today.
Hi, good afternoon, Sterling. I don't know if you have any guests, and I wasn't listening that long.
Yeah, well, good afternoon, sir. Hey, my friend, good to hear from you.
Good. Yeah, all right. I know that Ms. Susan, we need to take a break real shortly. So let me answer this there in just a couple of seconds. I won't take as long as the last caller, but I just want to make a few points and highlight a few things, because I think there's a lot of misinformation going around about, pro-port and petition and CPR and all these other things. One thing I want the people of the Cayman Islands to understand and realize is these things. Okay, so in 2008, when the PPM government embarked on doing one of the largest capital-scale projects in Cayman's history, which was building the Clifton Hunter High School and the John Gray and whatnot, it was over $100 million worth of spending. And then government was warned about the economic downturn and the different things and the repercussions. They didn't take warning. They didn't take heed. The people of the Cayman Islands didn't have a say in whether they should spend that level of funds or not. So they went ahead and they spent those funds, and then as a result of that, the country was forced with an FFR, a framework of physical responsibility, which was imposed by the UK on our Cayman Islands government and all future governments because of the irresponsible spending of that government. Now, remember now that was 2008. We didn't have a constitutional right to have referendum because that didn't come in until 2009 when we voted on the new constitutional reform, which gave us Section 70 of the Constitution, right? So it's important now that the country, and back then, obviously, the leader of government business and the cabinet, which was the PPM government, claimed that they had the mandate of the people so that whatever decision they made would be in the best interest of the people simply because they were elected. Now, similar discussions are being made that they have the mandate of the people and this particular project, which is another huge, which is probably the largest capital project Cayman Islands has ever seen. So the only difference is now, Sterling, is that we, the Cayman Islands people, and all the voting public, those who are registered, have the opportunity and the constitutional right to exercise Section 70 of the Constitution so that we can have a referendum, so that we can have a say in this capital project that is a matter of national importance. We want to know all of the information. We want to understand why they think it's benefiting us so that we can have a well-rounded opinion, and based on that, we can go out and cast our support either for or against. Either way, it ensures the democratic process takes place. However, saying all of that, when we have a concern that is of this magnitude, because we realize that one of the main reasons why we can't fund the port ourselves is for the same exact reason that the government felt like they had the mandate of the people because they were elected to spend those funds on schools that they still haven't finished to this day, that we're still paying back for, is the same reason why we can't go out now and extend borrowings to do this project on our own so that we don't have to give somebody the design, the build, and the operate and the maintenance of this project. Because if you look at the article that is printed in today's Compass, it says that they're going through the procurement process to find somebody to build, design, maintain, and operate.
All right. Hey, thanks very much. And respectfully, we just got to quickly pause for a break, but invite you to call and share your thoughts again. Respect, we just pause now. To our callers in the queue, we want to take your calls, so stay tuned for Talk Today.
Radio Cayman. Radio Cayman's newsroom. Headline. These are the biggest stories right now.
The Young Caymanian Leaders Foundation's best kept secret is finally out. Organizers announced Spencer West from the WE organization as the keynote speaker for the 2018 Young Caymanian Leadership Award Gala. The life of visionary and activist Spencer West has been marked by both obstacles and triumph as he lost both legs from the pelvis down at the age of 5. Casey Mobley, Kimberly Connolly, Samuel Young, Stacey Scott, and Wilbur Welcome will be recognized for their achievements and dedication to their careers and community at the YCLA Gala celebration on Saturday, November 10th at the Kimpton Fire. Good afternoon, I'm Dion Anglin with your headlines in news elsewhere. U.S. Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh has dismissed a third woman's accusation against him of misconduct as ridiculous. The new claim, which is being investigated by the Senate, alleges Judge Kavanaugh committed serious sexual assault in high school. In a statement, the judge said he did not know the accuser, Julie Swetnick, and her allegations never happened. He is set to testify on Thursday over other sexual misconduct claims. Sri Lankan police have arrested 3 men who were among a group who took semi-nude photos of themselves at an ancient sacred site. The young Sri Lankan men posted the images of themselves at Pidurangala Rock on Facebook. It prompted an angry reaction from people who considered them a religious insult. And it's something millions of us do every single day. But when the Duchess of Sussex closed her car door on Tuesday, the internet was watching and had something to say. Arriving at the Royal Academy of Arts to attend her first solo event since becoming a royal, Meghan stepped out of her car, having had the door opened. She then shut it behind her. Some praised her down-to-earth and humble attitude, while others joked she may put someone out of a job. An etiquette expert pointed out that this was not, in fact, a protocol breach. That's a wrap of your headlines. I'm Dion Anglin.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
What's happening in your community? News and information, music and more. You can find us. www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Radio Cayman is your choice, your voice for today's biggest news. Radio Cayman. Congratulations, it's a boy.
During the greatest events of your life, whether or not you have the right health insurance coverage should be the last thing on your mind. That's why at Fidelity Health, we are committed to helping you get matched with the right plan to suit you and your family. We offer a range of plans to suit your budget, plus access to a network of quality care throughout the Caribbean and the USA. You can relax and enjoy life's greatest moments when you are covered with Fidelity Health. Call us today at 949-7822 for a free quote.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. 949-8037 or 1-800-534-8255. Let's go to our phones. Good afternoon. Welcome. You're on Talk Today. Hello. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, Ram? What's up, man?
Yeah, Ram was there speaking. Brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
The subject here, right, for the past 4 weeks, it getting out of hand now, right? But in a way, it going civilized, right? And both sides of the fence, right? You're going civilized. Brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. I had to beat now. He's a German Corbyn, right? You want referendum now, right? A compromise policy referendum now, right? Because you know England based on the Labour and Tories, right? And he won't take out Theresa May, right? And that's the big thing, you know. When the March next year, when I find divorce in Alamoda, we embrace back to the EU. Right? Up in England now, they're harsh up there now, right? But you see, Cayman, they could do more crucial with us, right? And more likely, we have a play out. They got forced imminent tax towards us now. You understand? Whoever it is, if Theresa still there, or German, So listen, we got think about the horizon. He's telling, I'm no master communicator. You know what I'm saying? And nobody. How I think about the horizon. Yeah, right? I don't think one way, right? I think about the task, many things, right? And in response, how our boys about me. You see the port project, I for it. And like I say, if you're stalling it and delaying it, it'll cost more eventually. So get rid of it. You know, get rid of it.
All right, man. Yeah,
so can you see what I'm saying? In the UK thing now, they voted for Brexit. They never know the IPS, like certain social media and certain stuff. They're blocking that. They never know the 310 nautical miles around Northern Ireland. They never know that. That never existed before. Like, so they won't enforce a custom union, right? And hire people to protect Northern Ireland borderline, right? They have nothing to do with us now, you know?
Right.
But I have a passport which says Northern Ireland. That reason I'm so sensitive about the Brexit.
Right,
you feel
right.
You know,
I hear you, man.
And it's still like, I know you have guests come on, right? And like I say, time to lean, because whoever prevails now, if Theresa May, because more likely to lose her job, or Jeremy Corbyn, because he won't Michelle, I forgot her surname, he won't Michelle to join him now. Can't pronounce her last name, right? And listen, like I say, up there, I got from England now, but up there harsh now, but with them, they're more crucial with us. They're more crucial. Right? You see your politician rep, she going she went Belgium the other day.
Yeah.
When she come in, she got there, for what going on. But I know more into it now. But that's my topic. But Sterling, like I say again, I'll keep it for myself. Time to lean, it costs more.
All right, well, thanks for sharing with us, man. And you are well informed, man. All right?
All right, man. Have a good day, man.
Blessings to you. All right, let's take some more calls. Welcome, you're on Talk Today.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon, my friend. How are you, sir? Oh, man. Very blessed.
I'm happy to be back in Cayman. I had to go over to Miami for a couple of days, pick up some things from a computer. But other than that, God is good. I don't. But I'm really, really, really tired of hearing this stop thing. You know what I mean? I have to laugh about it because I think it was in 1988. I came back home in 86. I think it was 88. When they first talked about building these docks in Georgetown. I think Tom Jefferson might have been the Minister for Tourism then. And they brought in two guys, I think they were from Tampa or someplace, engineers, for a couple of weeks to do this study. And it cost us, I think, $500,000 at that time. And they did whatever they did. But I remember going to the meeting down at the Marriott, which wasn't called the Marriott, and it was another name. That's when they first built it. It was another hotel chain that had it.
Was it Radisson?
Radisson, yeah, it was Radisson. And Captain Paul, Bob Soto, a lot of the old seamen and knowledgeable about Cayman and stuff like that were against it because they said the currents that run along that perimeter of the island down through 7 Mile Beach and so on are dangerous currents, and they're going to pull every bit of sand off 7 Mile Beach because it's got a place you can dump it. Well, didn't happen, but right after that, I think it might have been a couple of years later, 1990 or so, maybe a little later than that, that the hotel that is now the Marriott, they decided to build a wall in front of it because they wanted an extension of it because they didn't have a beach, so they wanted to build this thing so they could have, more space on the waterfront. Well, I don't know if you remember this, but I remember it, that every stitch of sand washed away from that area because that's why you don't mess with Mother Nature. When you mess with Mother Nature, this is what happens.
Right.
And I remember somebody came in with an idea that they would put some artificial turtle grass or something out there that would catch the sand and bring it back, and they would put a bunch of sand or something like that. Well, I think it might have been maybe, I can give it 6 months, if that long. Every inch of that artificial turtle grass, you know what it was?
Tell us.
Down on West Bay Beach, where the four-way stop is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That's where that turtle grass went. Nobody listened to them. It should have been there. It should have been listened from then. But every government after that, one after the other, one after the other. Why?
Yeah, sir. And that's the challenge, man. I think those questions. Hey, thanks for sharing with that. And let's go to another line. Good afternoon. Welcome. You're on Talk Today.
Good afternoon, Sterling.
Afternoon, ma'am. How are you?
Good, and you?
Oh, blessed and thankful indeed.
Definitely. I just want to go back to this morning show. I love how we feel like ice cream and chocolate bars, so hope it doesn't get too upset with me.
Was it like chocolate is okay?
People are talking about wheelchairs and the tenders and so forth coming into the dock. Sterling, you got wheelchairs that has to be used all over the world, and if there's a mishap to happen, it will happen. Don't care if it's a tender at the airport or wherever you may be, at a hospital or wherever you may be. Sterling, we got wheelchairs up at the airport right now, and they can't even relock when you stop them with the passengers and they have to put them in your vehicle. So I don't know why people is using these tenders and to get by, to say that we want these mega ships to come in here to put down this pier and they'll be a lot safer and so forth. I'm not against the port. I just want to know that we're going to get value for money. Why some other person have to build it? Why we have to wait 25 years before we can collect it if it's being built? And I definitely not for it for downtown Georgetown. Definitely not. But we do need a port. I would like to see our cargo area upgrade. And I don't know if we're going to use that as an excuse to say, well, we got to upgrade the cargo and the cruise ship dock at the same time to kill two birds with one stone. I don't know if that's what's happening. I'm not sure. Now, don't get me wrong, okay?
Yeah, but maybe we should avoid killing the birds at all. I mean, protect our environment, right?
And I just want to say that this morning, when Mr. Rogerman called in about the port and the airport and everything else, I applaud him 110%. And a gentleman called in. He called the show a few minutes ago. I think it was like your first caller. And he was talking about the taxes and so forth, and you know what the damage would be here and there if we put this port here and there, and how much money can make going to Red Bay and so forth and so forth. And then OC said, in other words, let's cut it there now, and he is talking from a taxer point of view. In other words, then that was not good enough in regards to the port of that. In other words, that gentleman was looking from a money-making point of view, and I really think that was a kind of cold slap in the face. And I also want to say, when they call about the airport, and my brother calling about the airport, those rafters that they have up there, it's no way in the world, Sterling, they can keep sun off for you or rain. They're so high. And if they have to go now and rework on top of those to bring some sort of shelter for the taxi drivers and the visitors, they are going to get themselves in more debt. The purpose of that high fencing metal strip up there, I don't know if it's just a design. They tried putting some tarp up there sometime in the rain, blow it off. I understand they're getting some other one made to put up there. But Sterling, the facts with the cruise ship and the stayover visitors, you have a visitor coming on the plane dressed in a 2- and 3-piece suit and a $200, $300 pair of shoes as a businessman, his briefcase, and coming here to go to the hotel, and he's getting wet, coming off the plane, going into customs immigration, coming back outside in the rain again, do the dispatch, and then gets into a taxi and then goes to the hotel. And good thing that when they get to the hotel, we have an underground overhang that we can drop the people off without them getting wet the 3rd, 4th, 5th time before they get to the destination. Nothing, and no disrespect to the cruise ship passengers, because we will always need cruise ship passengers. But when we're going to take and build a port for the amount of money that they're talking about, and we, as the people of this island, will not hold it until 25 years later, you got visitors coming off the cruise ship. They are dressed in a T-shirt and a pair of flip-flops, and a businessman is coming off the airport in a full suit, an expensive pair of shoes, an expensive suit. He getting drenched to try to get to a taxi to get to his hotel. Now, I want you to tell me what you see in this man getting wet or this woman getting wet, and this port they're going to cost so much that those guys coming here in a T-shirt and a pair of flip-flops, they all are imported. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But we need to put our money where our mouth is.
Hey, thanks very much, man. Prioritizing is, she shares. Hey, thank you very much. Let's take the other call. Welcome. Good afternoon. You're on Talk Today.
Hi, good afternoon, Sterling. I'm sorry I had to call back, but
welcome back, man. Welcome back.
I just wanted to finish what I was saying a little earlier before the break, because I think that it's important that when we talk about an issue, we talk about all aspects of it.
Right.
And what I was saying earlier before the break, I was simply pointing out that in 2008, our government, who said they had the mandate of the people, embarked on over $100 million expenditure of capital projects on schools, and it failed, and it forced our island and our future government to abide by a FFR, which is the framework for physical responsibility. Hence the reason today we have to see private investors build our port because we already reached our threshold of borrowing. We're not allowed to borrow any more money to do capital projects such as the port. Even though if the port is built, hypothetically, the business model in which it's in place would be able to pay it off within a very short period of time, and the government would be able to reap all the benefits thereafter. Unfortunately, because of the FFR, we're unable to do it, hence the reason why we're going to be looking for private investors. So, having said that, highlighting the fact that in 2008 that we didn't have the reform constitution that we got in 2009, which gives us the ability of referendum under Section 70. So this petition that is being pushed by the CPR and all the other concerned groups in Cayman Islands is so that the government have to listen to the people. In 2008, it was not mandated by Constitution for the government to listen to us because based on the election, they claimed they knew what was best because we elected them. Now, there's a different dynamic to this situation. We have the Section 70 of the Constitution, which gives us an opportunity to exercise a referendum if we feel that this is a matter of national importance. Obviously, a $200 to $300 or maybe $500 million project is proposed to the person for all the reasons in which they state. Now, I'll list them out very quickly. Number one, they want to enhance the tourist experience by a pier that they can walk on and off the ship. Then we look over to the airport. We renovate the airport, but yet we don't have the same type of consideration being taken at the airport with jetways. Then we come back to the cruise ships and we say, okay, we want to do it because we want to increase our numbers financially in terms of individuals coming here and pay tax collected. And then presumably they'll spend more money if and all the time. Again, we all see the trends for cruise passengers and what they spend. It hardly ever varies from anything more than what is the average, simply because there are multiple destinations for these passengers to call to, so therefore they have a certain budget. Secondly, if we are going to use the argument based on the government's newspaper ads and all of the glamorous stuff that they've put out, it claims that if we don't build cruise berths, that we'll have millions of dollars passing our shores every day. Now let's revert back to the airport. Unless we have adequate airstrip for 747s, Airbus 380s, and all of the major big planes that are flying out of Europe on a daily basis, we have millions and millions of dollars flying over our head every day going to other destinations. Who can accommodate large planes at capacity with fuel and whatnot? So if we're going to have this argument, and then the key diamond factor in all of this is that when you look at the government's assessment report, it clearly outlines that stayover passengers spend 11 times more than cruise passengers. So if we're saying that we want to upgrade our tourism product and our tourism service and our tourism revenue, then we must be based on all of the information provided and studies that were paid for. We must be looking at upgrading, enhancing the airport, and using that $500 or $300 or $180 million to build hotels and other facilities to accommodate the stayover passengers. Yet, we are to believe that, and we should allow a government that was not elected by the mandate, because the legislation clearly states that the election office has all of the stats that is available to anyone to go online to see that more people voted for independence than they did for either party. So for the PPM government or the UDP or the CDP government to state the claim that they have the mandate of the people, it is misleading and false. The election office has the proof. Don't take my word. So when we have an overall conversation about this particular project, we must talk about all of the variations, all of the issues, all of the environmental impacts. We must take those into consideration. So one, the government don't have the mandate of the people. Two, if they're saying that we want to upgrade our financial situation from tourism, we must be looking at the most valuable tourists that come to our shores, which is the stayover tourists, which is in all of the government reports. And we must understand that the same exact thing that is being applied to the port should be applied to the cruise port, should be applied to the airport. Because, number one, they are the tourists that spend the most dollars in our economy. Now, I want to quote it very quickly, and then I'll listen in. It clearly stated in there that if the government is going to build or consider doing a birthing facility, that they had a meeting with the NRA, which highlighted to them that with the current passenger intake that we had without cruise birthing, that NRA saw the need for infrastructure upgrades and design, which they did not have the funding for at the time. That's 2013. So, and that if they were planning on increasing the capacity by cruise birthing, then most definitely that infrastructure would have been an issue. That's the NRA report to the Mott people, EIA report. Then it goes on to also say that they find that talking with the cruise line, that if they in fact built a cruise berthing that could not accommodate all ships that call to our port on any one day, that they expressed their disconcern and their dislike, that if they weren't able to use the pier like the other ships, then they would more rather move past and continue, because they would be at a disadvantage by using tenders when the other ships were using berthing. So that they said it was absolutely essential that if the government had embarked on, that there was no disadvantage having all ships being tendered as opposed to having some being tendered and some being berthed. So these are all reports that are available, paid for by the government, Sterling, and I think that it's important. Again, that's why it's absolutely essential that we exercise the 2009 Section 70 of the Constitution, which we didn't have in 2008, and we saw what happened as a result, FFR, overspending, debt. So it's important that the people of the Cayman Islands exercise their democratic right to engage in a petition to enact a referendum that gives us the opportunity to hear all the information, base our vote for or against on correct, proper information in its entirety. And that is what needs to be perpetuated, and that is the message that we are trying to push. And I can state very clearly that there is nobody on the CPR committee or volunteer list that has gone out and told anybody anything other than the facts based under the Constitution. There is a huge campaign on the ProPort website saying if you sign the petition, it's a no vote for on referendum. I want to state and clarify that in order to have a referendum, you must first have a petition. And to sign the petition is not a vote for anything at all. It's hard to believe that there is a room full of so-called educated people who have decided to put such a contradictive post on their website and expect people to buy into it. I'm not here to criticize them for anything other than the things that they've put on their website. So I encourage everybody to come out to that meeting tonight, 6:30 at the Family Life Center. And I encourage them, and I encourage the government not to not avoid the questions asked by the concerned citizens of this country. Somehow I'm a little afraid that it's going to be gauged and monitored and dictated. Even so, we're going to do our very best to get our concerned questions across so that we can get some level of answers as to what it is. Because for the life of me, sir, if we have admittedly said that say over tourism spend 11 times more than cruise, and we know for sure that we have hundreds, thousands of international transatlantic flights flying over our heads, flying into Cuba from Europe every single day, which is potential revenue, just like the same ships that they claim will pass our shores. Why is it that we're not focusing and showing the same amount of consideration or even more for the airport and air arrivals as opposed to cruise? We are now currently receiving 1.6 to 1.8 cruise passengers per year, and we see that all of our infrastructural accommodations are at capacity and beyond. So we need to strike the balance that creates a quality product, and we have to ensure that we focus on that side of the industry that generates the most revenue. Thank you, Sterling, because I think it's essential that we use these platforms to continue to share information from all sides so that we can have a better idea of what's going on. I'll listen in. Unless you have a question, I'll listen in if anybody else calls.
All right. Thanks very much for sharing, man. Thanks again. 949-8037. Are we taking a call or a break, Ms. Susan? All right. We're going to pause and take a break. When we come back, we'll go to our phones. Please stay tuned for Talk Today.
Hi,
Hi, I'm remodeling our bathroom. I have a few questions.
Sure.
What are some ideas to make my bathroom feel larger? How do I know if I'm picking the right vanity? How do I choose a new toilet or a new countertop? Also, the lighting is terrible. Can I put a window or a skylight? And do I really need an exhaust fan?
You've come to the right place. At Brand Source, we custom design kitchen and baths, and our talented design team can help answer your questions. Whether you're looking for a modern, functional family bathroom or a luxurious personal retreat, we'll help create that beautiful space that makes your home yours. And if you're in a rush for a new look and have a limited budget, our ready-to-install bathroom vanities built with solid wood and countertops of the finest materials are a quick and easy remodeling solution.
For the very best in custom-designed kitchens and baths, visit Brand Source Home Gallery on Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, Cayman's new kitchen and bath center.
At Seaboard Marine, customers often ask us questions about their shipments.
Hi, I'm thinking of buying a car from the States. Which port do you ship out of?
Hi, we ship out of Miami, Houston, and Brooklyn. Just let us know your port of choice and we can provide you with a quotation and answer any questions you may have on insuring and protecting your vehicle during its journey.
Shipping shore to shore, Seaboard.
Sometimes things just don't go as planned. That's why you need Contractors All-Risk Insurance from Fidelity Insurance Brokers. Ensure you're covered in the event of property damage and third-party injury or damage claims during your construction projects. And with Fidelity Insurance Brokers, you can be sure you are getting competitive pricing and superior customer service. Call us today for a free quote. Fidelity, we're good for you.
Autumn is here, and Ed says, Anita, let's have a huge sale September 26, 27, 28, and 29. So, what do? I bring the savings to you. Stop by International Lighting and save 20 to 50% off selected items, including chandeliers, ceiling fans, light fixtures, and LED bulbs. While you're there, go upstairs to the bathroom pallets and take 20% off bathroom cabinets. Don't miss the linen department. Take 20 to 50% off rugs. Sheets starting at $14. 8-piece comforters from $48. Curtains starting at $6. 20% off all household items. International Lighting and Design upstairs and downstairs. Ed's Plaza North Sunway. Open 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Call 949-5141. And for outdoor shopping, stop by the entrance of the Boddentown Church of God Chapel Saturday from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and take 20% off items. In addition to all of these savings, spend $25 or more and be entered in the drawing for a chance to win a round trip to Denver, Atlanta, New York, Chicago, Miami, Jamaica, or Honduras. Drawing will take place on December 22nd.
Recovery from mental and substance use disorders is real.
You can recover.
It's possible. It happens every day.
Never give up on yourself.
Discover hope and help.
I thought I was too far gone. I wasn't.
Join the Voices for Recovery.
The world is a beautiful place again.
If you, your family member, or friend are in need of support, please contact Department of Counseling Services at 949-8789.
Want to hear the facts about Cayman's cruise berthing facility? The Deputy Premier and Minister of Tourism, the Honourable Moses Kirkconnell, invites you to a public meeting at the Family Life Centre on Wednesday, September 26th at 6:30 p.m. Come and hear the latest updates and have your questions answered. Refreshments will be provided.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome back to Talk Today. Thank you for joining us. 949-8037 or 1-800-534-8255. Let's go to our phones. Welcome. You're on Talk Today.
Yeah, today.
Hey, my friend. How are you?
All right, man. I apologize for yesterday, you know what I mean?
No, man. No worries, man. No worries.
No, because the man get under my skin.
Some people can do that, you know.
Yeah.
But you're here today, man. You're here today. So let's, move forward one step at a time, right?
Yeah, man. What really is what going on is too much talking, not enough action.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say by action now, I say we need to let them know we mean business. Not everything or not everybody on this island is all about money. Some people get up in the morning, they all about money.
Mm-hmm.
I know about money. I want hear with parrots. I want hear all the chickens, all that. All that is something people could only dream for. To see a meal possibly running around in front of you, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And you can catch it just like that. You know? That means still, some people, they don't have that. They don't have that they can go out in the water and they can catch their food or dive up their food. That's a privilege to us. Mother Nature bring that to us. I wouldn't sell that for no boat. Huh? That's how I is.
Mm-hmm.
In I know my people not into seeing a bunch of suits and neckties running around them all day. I know that. You know that too, man, Mr. D.
Some people, yeah, as a listener, man, it's a matter of perspective, right? And as you share, you're talking about today as well as tomorrow, right?
Yeah, you're going to get up and do that every day. You're going to get up and see these suits every day or these flip-flops every day. No, man. I don't think so. Come on. We know better than that. We need to stop talking. You hear me? I'm not afraid of them, you know. I don't jump no fence for nobody, you understand?
Right.
You could have a lightning bolt from Zeus himself. I not running from you. This is what I having hard to comprehend still. That we going to sell out our beautiful, pristine water for some ugly rusty boat. And then you see when they open that up, that's another gateway, you know. That's another gateway for crime.
What do we do now? I mean, as I listen to you and reflecting that for some, you know, it's not just about today and the dollar, but for others, they recognize that they need to be able to survive in order to provide for tomorrow. Where do we draw the balance?
Draw the balance?
Mm-hmm.
We could have come up with something else. We could have followed the world in something else. You know? You're telling us mustn't gamble, but look, the gambling going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we could have used that to help everything. No?
Yep.
We could have used that, pay for education, pay for the road. We could have do that. The herb, they're locking us up 24/7 for that. 24/7, they try and stick their nose in our pudding every day for that. Like they can't find nothing else called crime on this island. They even out so far in the water looking for the boats. We paying money for that when we got so much needed here. No, man. We need to build another dock so we can make it easier for them to get in here. Oh, you taking look up Mr. Ludwig, where he up in Brazil, and he was telling the Brazilian people to build the dock. They get halfway and he shut it down. Couldn't afford him no more. Imagine that happened to us. You see what Brazil had to do? They had to go drive off sugar. That's the kind of thinking they had. Where we gonna get that? Where we gonna get that amount of sugar from? Or where we gonna get the amount of anything from around here? Because they already got us so locked. No, man.
I hear you. All right, man. Hey, let's catch up again soon, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, enjoy your afternoon. And with that, let's take the other call. Hey, welcome. You're on Talk Today.
Hello.
That one?
Hey, Honor.
You on indeed.
Yeah, I'm respect the last caller. I'm a close acquaintance, Mr. Will see the bedroom. And how So I'm going to come back for now today, right? Like I said, how the very things, and I got to think something he said a while ago. I agree. We got to look at the gambling thing, right? Agriculture, cultivation, right? So those revenues can go back to the infrastructure for pensioners, health, education, beautification, and for everything, right? If you go look at, and I gotta be eccentric today, right? I gotta be out of pass now, right? Him with long, Sterling. You see, Obama, Lord, before he left the Oval Office, the White House, right? The Democrats, and most of them, is based on the LGBT lifestyle now. And most Hollywood actors and actresses don't endorse him, despite that, right? And Trump denounces certain things, certain amendments he did that a problem, you know. And when I talk about the agricultural cultivation, though, you know the trade war going on with China,
right?
And we got thinking came on now for foods now, cultivation, especially that's essential, important, and I believe in proper morals now, but certainly to be Mr. Moles now. They have a new route from Denver, Colorado, right? The Rockies, right? My mother went there 2 years ago.
All right.
Beautiful place, right? And let me tell you something. Denver, Colorado, they smoke most herbs. Like in nothing, right? And you can make an statistic in the cruise passengers how much they smoke herbs. Why we can't legalize it, right? That's revenue again. Now market high incline, right? Making adequate capital funds, legalize it. You know, I mean, some people may disagree with me. I know we based on state and church, right? But listen, hello, I spent $1,050 for one draw, 2008, 11 years ago, right? To have God's own problem.
Sorry to hear that one.
If people get penalized for that, Sterling, we got to think. Sterling, listen to me. Most of the gay people, right? They're the high rollers now. They got money now. Most of them now. And the poor now, more like that, they will advocate an additional gay cruise ship now. They're looking at that too now. I remember back in 98, late 98, I was 14 years old. They would come here one time now. Right? You know, it would be controversial. I went town too now. I was young, but I would be controversial about it. Right? One Friday, I recall that. Gay cruise ship, yeah. Right? And starting, let me get on track now. We got to think beyond the point, right? Like I said again, I for the port, many reasons why, right? I'm responsible about it. They get about how me or condemn me or compel me now, how they feel now, or they vote, no one do no food now. I'm responsible about it. You know what I'm saying? And like I say again, they may be stalling, it costs more. Yeah, costs more. And like I said again, if Jeremy Corbyn or Theresa May, they're not responsible with us now. You know how they get in, you're forcing tax on us now, left, right, and center. You got to look into that. And it came on now, I know we never ready for independence, but we need interested on it. Simple things, right? And we got to deal with the master planning, long-term planning, right? I see it the first cycle talk show. Austin House on and give Mr. Gilbert McLean. I tell them, put that airport up east end. That was 2014 now. Put it up east end. More land space, not more land mass.
The airport?
Right? Yeah, put up east end. Right? Put everything up there. The tower, radar, fire station, everything. Put everything up there. Look at us now. Right? Look at us now. The capacity is so full now. Never a decade from now. Right? By 2018, I mean, so 2028, and even now, right? Capacity full again. You expand it.
What do you do then?
Exactly. First of all, this put the gun range up east end, right? This car we're doing it, my family. Not part of it again. The gun range. You feel me? So I was telling, like I say, the meeting. If not there, my spirit be there. But I'll let you be there. So I'll let you be present there. And it came on now. We got to stop playing experience stuff, the type of things, you know. So to give it 12 seconds. I see about a couple of weeks ago, I would an establishment, and I tell the leader, you think it's better to stand this petition, the one with the governor. She Latino, right? But she don't comprehend, but she understand. And the other person, she European. She understand I thought. My talk slow, my my dialect right, and I say this in not waste of time enough. So that it be, And like I said again, on Monday, you don't know who even here. I'll give governor.
Right.
To endorse and advocate same-sex marriage. That's all then. Do what I'm doing. We won't prevail and talk, but listen up. Like I said 2 weeks ago, I can see we going on a turbulence now, right? No proper jet stream. I can see an election coming down the corner now. If not next year, I can see it now. A stop election.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what, but think about it. That's cool.
Yeah, man. Hey, listen, I always enjoy listening to you. You're insightful. You say you might be a master communicator, but you share very effectively, man. Thank you so much for... Anything else you want to share with us? All right. We're going to pause and take a break, go to our news. When we come back, it's more talk today. We were expecting some members from the government, sort of, talk about the positives of the report, to be our guests. They were scheduled for 1. Well, hopefully they'll be here. But the meeting is tonight. So stay tuned for Talk Today.
Babe, not tonight. I need to be rested for all-day meetings tomorrow.
What are you talking about? I was almost asleep.
You keep poking me, and I can't sleep.
That's the mattress spring I keep telling you about. Not me. We really need to get a new mattress.
Tossing and turning, back hurting, can't sleep? It might be time to turn in your old mattress and go to bed with a new one. Browse the huge mattress showroom at Brand Source Home Gallery and pick the perfect mattress today. With mattresses to suit every budget, Brand Source Home Gallery stocks a wide selection of sizes and styles like pillow top and gel memory foam. So stop tossing and turning and sleep better tonight with a new mattress from Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
Earth, fire, wind, water.
Harness the magic power of the 4 elements during the Miss Cayman Miss World pageant Saturday, September 29th at the Hartwell Theater. Be on hand to see who will wear the crown and represent the Cayman Islands at the Miss World pageant. Tickets are limited, so purchase them today at Rock Gorgeous, Back to Health, and Beyond Basics for $50 general and $75 VIP, which includes a cocktail. Doors open at 6. Show starts at 7:30. Cash bar is available.
Witness the magic.
Hey, are those new glasses on Will?
Yeah, we went to Optical Outlook. Wham, bam, easy exam. Finally an exam he could pass. And we had the glasses the next day. Easiest part of our back-to-school shopping for sure.
Book your child's eye exam today at Optical Outlook. Call 746-2020. Save 50% off a complete pair of glasses with any student eye exam. Now extended until September 28th. Come see the difference with Optical Outlook, located in the Caymanian Village. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram.
Attention Radio Cayman listeners, don't forget to register for the 12th annual Grand Cayman Breeze Fusion 5K Walk Run. Help us in raising funds for the NCVO and the John Gray High School Musical Department. Registration is only $15 for adults if registered by September 30th. The walk run will take place Saturday, November 3rd at Smith's Bacadere, but you must be registered by September 30th to take advantage of the lower fee. Visit CaymanActive.com to register today or stop by here at Radio Cayman on Elgin Avenue.
Tune in every Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Super Jam Show, the #1 drive time entertainment show on your radio, featuring Will Sinatra. Enjoy a mix of pop, hip-hop, reggae, and calypso, and an entertainment trivia section. The Super Jam Show is fueled by the proud sponsorship of Merengue Town. It's time to feel the rhythm, time to feel the vibes. It's time for Merengue Town.
Open a world of knowledge and education with Flow. Bundle now and get smart back-to-school savings on Cayman's biggest network. Get 50% off HD quality Flow Evo TV and super-fast broadband bundles now from $49.50 a month. And you could win one of 4 weekly laptop prizes from Flow and Office Supply. Enjoy TV on your mobile with Flow to go and bring the classroom home with Flow Study. Do the smart thing and bundle smarter for back-to-school with Flow. Visit discoverflow.ky for details. Terms and conditions apply.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. 949-8037 or 1-800-534-TALK. It's the Flow toll-free line, or you can call us directly, either one. Equally, you can WhatsApp 925-3261. We had scheduled some of the members from government. It is Wednesday. They usually come in. Today's discussion was slated to be about the port, and things happen. So maybe they still come. But so far, well, it's the open line. Let's go to our phones. Welcome. You're on Talk Today.
Oh, hi. Good afternoon, Mr. Sterling.
Good afternoon.
The last caller that actually was on before the break. I'm actually a student from the University of Cayman Islands, and I'm studying hospitality. And based on his information and his facts, he's correct, because if you look at what it would take to build a port, and what we have at the airport that we have going on now, it really doesn't make sense to jump from one idea to the next. Based on that fact is because if you look at other other airports around the world, we're actually the only airport that actually have our guests still walk into the plane, other than them trying to say, well, here what, like how Miami has their airport that we don't get wet. We still have this issue that, we're going to renovate the airport, but then again, doing it the right way in minimizing certain cons to certain things that we have, that we find as a problem, and kind of say that, the tourism is something that is a brand that that what builds us up. Based on that, like, if this is something that is so key and important to us, why do everything bit by bit, other than just do it right the first time and let it be done instead of, and then move on to the next project, other than trying to combine two things at the same time? Because it's basically pretty much costing us as an island. And right now, being a certified diver, let's just move on to the port now. Being a certified diver and being out in town, when I dive, the currents that I experience at a certain time, it's more of a, how should I say, a sensation. When I say sensation, I mean as in sometimes it can be frightening. And just alone from like kind of sitting out with older people who were seamen, based on what they know, they say the location of putting a port in town would not be the ideal idea for the government to do. Based on that, I would suggest that they put it in where it to be fought, because therefore it lowers the chances of certain environmental problems that we may face with the West Bay stretch.
Right. If I could ask of you, and only because there's a question that's been asked to me a number of times, and I don't know that I'm the best one to give an answer. Respectfully, if you are willing to weigh in, a number of people, students, number of elderly people, have shared, why is it that we haven't looked at other locations? Why are we focusing on one location only in order to determine whether we should go ahead? Any thoughts on that?
I think the real reason is, honestly, I feel comfortable because,
fair enough.
I try not to get into politics, to be honest. But I think the main reason why they tend to still pinpoint the location as in town is because they feel like, okay, everything is in town. So they feel like it would be more of a stress to the guest, as in to getting from one point of the island to the next. And that is where I feel like they think the average guest who come off of the ship spend more. But based on what was taught by my professors, when you look at the odds, it's nothing to compare as in what a guest who stays here, who comes from a different country to do either business or just a vacation, it doesn't really add up, because the amount of money that they spend within the week or the 4 days that they're here, if you put that together with the tourists who come off of the cruise ship, it really doesn't make sense. Like, the numbers doesn't really match up. So I think that's really, other than them trying to look at the point as in, oh yes, it benefits because, guests have less problems or less hazards. They should really look at the benefit as in what we really profit off of, and not just as in trying to succeed the likes of people. And that's what I feel like.
Right. Well, it is something that I look at, as someone's reminded me, from the government's own numbers, that the stay-over tourists spend 11 times more than the cruise passengers. But I must share, man, your insight and equally your willingness to weigh in. It's something, and with the greatest respect and not a fear of people, saying I put my job at risk. But when I have an opportunity to speak to students, whether they're, UCCI students or other college students, or whether they're, high school students, and they're saying this is their future, they would like, at the very least, to have a voice, to be informed, and to be able to feel as if they're being heard, at least, a chance to ask questions. Hey, thank you very much. You really having a chance to listen to you is refreshing and very encouraging.
And before I go, I just want to touch on that topic.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the next thing. As a young Caymanian, that is something that us as the younger generation, we tend to feel like we don't have a voice within our own community or within our own island. And I feel like that is where we stumble, and that's where we have a problem now. That, if we were to say, come up to a politician or MLA and say, this is how we feel about certain things, and I understand that you are in charge of this certain area or this certain department that has to do with economics, to what I may have to fend off someday. Like, sometimes, they may be like, oh, you understand, a young kid, you don't know what really going on. Like, somewhat it will benefit you, but when you look on the inside in, with technology now, we learn every day. Or there's certain equipment or certain research that we could do and find out more. And when you look at it, why look at someone who wasn't born here? My grandfather was a seaman, and before he died, he told me there are certain parts of this island that, you would dig until you can't dig no more and you wouldn't touch bottom, period. And there are certain things that, other than them looking at experts and looking at people who don't live here, maybe they should really go to the oldest captains or seamen who are still alive and say, here, what is the idea we have? Other than focusing on town, where do you think else we can go with it, other than just on this one specific topic?
Sorry, you there still?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sorry. No, I thought all of a sudden this echo. No, man, listen to you. You're making any final thoughts you want to share with us?
No, not really.
Yeah, man, but thank you very much. And anytime you have time, you feel inclined, please share your thoughts, and respectfully, if anybody takes you to task, because you have a voice, then certainly share with us. But thank you for being so courageous, my friend.
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's take another call. Hey, welcome. You're on Talk Today.
Hi. This is Lucille here.
Hey, Miss Lucille, Mom. How are you?
Yeah, I just want to talk to you a little bit about stay-over tours.
Yes, Mom.
And from a different perspective. Has anybody ever asked people, those stay-over tourists, how they knew about the Cayman Islands?
Do we know what the conversion rate is for those who come by cruise ships and those that come back?
Has anybody ever talked to the tourists to ask them, the ones that stayed over, how did they come to know about the Cayman Islands? Would you want me to give you the answer? Because I do it all the time. When I'm always in Miami going somewhere or the other. People say, where are you from? I said, I'm from the Cayman Islands. Oh, that's a nice place. And they say, how did you know there? So I was there on a cruise. 90% of them told me that.
So, but that's your info, Miss Lucille? Or how does that tie in with the governments over the years, not just this one, to know the conversion rate of those who come by tourists, that those return as stay over tourists?
And I said to them, well, are you going back? They said, oh, yes, we are going back. What I want to say, and I'm not taking any sides there, I keep telling people, I mean hundreds and thousands of people that have been here. And they've been here first through cruise, and second because they liked here. The first thing they say, we are clean. They like the place, and then they must go back. I think we should think on that sometimes about stay over, how they got here. That's all I want to say. I don't want to take any sides with anybody, and whether I'm pro or con, I'm just telling you that. And I think you should take that into consideration.
Yes, well. All right. Well, thanks very, very much. And with that, we have our news break. Let's pause shortly, take a break. We'll take your calls when we come back. We were delightfully expecting the presence of members of the government to be able to join us for a discussion, but things happen, and maybe there'll be an opportunity to reschedule them. But it gives us a chance to hear from you, whether you want to talk about the port on or on the page with the government or off the page. It doesn't matter. We can talk about crime. We can talk about anything except let's talk about education. 949-8037. We'll pause. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll take the calls that are in queue. So please stay tuned for Talk Today.
Satisfaction is guaranteed 24 hours a day, whether it's music or information.
From Grand Cayman to Cayman Brac to Little Cayman, we've got you covered.
You ever hear a thing like that?
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman. Headline. Radio Cayman's newsroom. Headline. These are the biggest stories right now.
For the last quarter of this year, older men and women will get special benefits with their Chamber of Commerce discount cards. The cards are distributed annually, offering users savings on things like food, entertainment, and clothing. Chamber CEO Will Pano said there are other special considerations being considered for older residents, including legal services and an expansion of wider discounts for those in this age group. Older Persons Month begins on Sunday. Good afternoon, I'm Dion Anglin with your headlines. In news elsewhere, India's Supreme Court has ruled that the country's controversial biometric identity scheme is constitutional and does not violate the right to privacy. However, the court limited the scope of the Aadhaar scheme, saying it could not be compulsory for bank accounts, mobile connections, or school admissions. The world's largest biometric ID database covers welfare and tax payments and access to social services. Dame Judi Dench has said it was wrong to remove her good friend Kevin Spacey's performance in a recent film. She said Spacey was an immeasurable comfort when they worked on a film shortly after her husband's death. A number of allegations of sexual misconduct have been made against the Oscar-winning actor, which he denies. And Sony is to let gamers on PlayStation consoles play against those using rival devices. Many games already let those using a PC, Nintendo Switch, or Xbox one player together online, but Sony had refused to take part. It previously cited child protection as one of the reasons it blocked crossplay. That's a wrap of your headlines. I'm Dion Anglin.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands. What's happening in your community? News and information, music and more. You can find us. www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Radio Cayman is your choice, your voice for today's biggest news. Radio Cayman.
King Sports Center takes pride in being more than just an ordinary gymnasium. For 14 years, their multi-purpose facility has been providing the community with a variety of sporting, recreational, and relaxation activities. King Sports Center has a bowling alley, lounge bar, multi-purpose rooms, powerhouse gym, rock climbing wall, bungee jumping, a 10,000 square foot rink, and so much more. For more information on the variety of services, call their friendly staff today at 946-5464 or email kings@candw.ky or visit www.kingsportscenter.com. King Sports Center, your one-stop shop for fitness, recreation, and relaxation.
We are now in the hurricane season, and to survive a hurricane, you need to be informed. If you have been informed by official sources that a hurricane is approaching the Cayman Islands, and you live in a low-lying area that is prone to flooding or near the beaches, which may be swept by high tides or storm waves, please seek a safe place and high ground. If the only way for you to get to a safe place is a road that is also likely to be flooded during a storm, please leave home early. Don't run the risk of being stranded. This has been a public service announcement from your community station, Radio Cayman.
From happy beginnings to happy ever after.
Brit K protects your lifestyle with the best insurance cover at the best possible price.
Health insurance with far-reaching benefits.
95% of claims settled in 5 days.
Low-cost life insurance.
And investments.
Security in retirement.
With a custodian pension plan.
For happy beginnings and a happy ever after.
Visit BritK.ky or call 949-8699.
Brit K, where people come first.
Country classics.
Well, I was born to coal miner's daughter.
On the road again. They're gonna put me in the movies.
Papa Top again.
Out in the West Texas town of El Paso.
Because you're mine, I walk the line.
Well, I love them in country classics. Young love, first love. You never count your money when you're sitting at the table.
If you enjoy classic country music, come hang out with Radio Cayman this Saturday, 3:30 to 6 p.m.
In the Mississippi cotton picking Delta town.
This Saturday afternoon, following American Country Countdown, 3:30 to 6 on Radio Cayman.
Just walk on by. Wait on the corner. Country classics.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome back to Talk Today. Thank you for joining us. It is open line, and on behalf of the members of the government, our apologies. We were expecting to have them join us, but hey, things happen, right? Let's go to the phones. Welcome, you're on Talk Today.
Yeah, good afternoon, Dwayne.
Hey, good afternoon, my friend. How are you today?
I'm all right, and you?
I blessed, and I actually had somebody say to me, man, you're not that bad looking. But then, they were looking at somebody else, so. Good to hear from you, man.
Dwayne, you just asked a question, very important question. Why they insist that the board be in town? Because that's the demand of those on the shops in town. You know, the rich people want the board in town because they wanted to serve their purpose. Their shops and their business, and moving the shop from Georgetown gonna affect them. And I think this country is developing and moving to the front. When you look at the Cayman Sea captains, those who all the world know how they have knowledge and they have experience. And I remember I listening to one sea captain was on the radio past year ago or something. You know, they said Red Bay or Spots is better place for the port. I think, the solution is get out the port from Georgetown to Red Bay or to Spot Dock, and the whole fight. The two sides are fighting. One side fighting for the tender, so there's no dock, so they can make millions of dollars every year. So this side is fighting for the tender, and the other side is fighting for the shop people. And I think the last thing this government or any member of the government, including Mr. Corconel, have any attention or thinking about the Caymanian people. I mean, look at Cayman Brac. You know, what has changed since 15 years until today? I don't see, any changes. I visited Cayman Brac 14 years ago, and I come back recently. I don't see anything change Mr. Corconel develop in his district. Those fighting over the dock, they need to go to their district and look how many homeless sleeping in the streets, how many people suffering and hungry and poor. They need to be busy with developing the life of the people of this country before they put my child and your child and everybody's child in this country in debt for 30 years. How in the world the people of this country can afford to pay more taxes and more, they say in Cayman there is no taxes. The reality is the people of this country is paying more taxes than any other country in the world. If you look at the light bill, the gas $5, Dwayne, reach $5, and nobody open his mouth and say, this is robbery. This is thieving the people. People are working just to pay for gas, to drive their car, and paying light bill and water bill, and people are not given how much your salary enough for you until 15 of the month, and after that people are borrowing money from the bank, using credit card and getting in more debt. Right. They are making the poor more poorer in this country and making those owners of the shops in town more rich. What is the purpose of this meeting tonight, Dwayne? Meeting tonight is all fight between two sides about the rich people. It is not fight for the Caymanian individual, and they're saying there is 1,000 jobs. Where is those 1,000 jobs will come from?
I think that's a question that maybe is going to be answered shortly. But thank you, sir, respectfully. Let's take the other callers. Welcome, you're on Talk Today.
Hi, Sterling.
Hi, Mom. Hi.
Good. I want to get back to Mr. Seymour in regards to how the majority of visitors probably coming to the Cayman Islands is coming through from the cruise ship and then returning back to the Cayman. I just want to say I've been up to the airport now. I think it's like in the 4-year bracket. And Sterling, I'm going to tell you, I worked at the cruise ship. No disrespect to the cruise ship, believe me. They fed me at one point in time, and they still do off and on. But I just want to say that at the airport, when my customers start to talk, it's the first time to the island, and a few with me say they came by a cruise, and they decided to come out by air. I told them that was the best decision they have ever made. But I want to say that when the islands got damaged the other day, everybody started coming to the Caymans, right? And Sterling, I tell you, in the season there, I had a lot of visitors coming to the Cayman, and I got a lot to them to take to where they had to go on the 7 mile. And that was the first time coming to the Caymans. And they said when they saw Cayman from in the air, and when they stepped down, they said, you know what, I will be back. Instead of been going to these other islands for years, I never dreamed of coming to the Cayman Island until the bad weather hit where they normally go. But they say they will be back. So I just say that to say this, that we do have people coming from the cruise ship, yes, no disrespect, but believe me, a lot that come here has never, ever been to the Caymans before, and I have proof and evidence of that just talking to my people.
There are many first-time visitors, as you share, Mom, and respectfully, I think Department of Tourism and the Minister of Tourism over the years in their exit surveys of cruise passengers have been trying to determine, and even of those who are leaving by the airport. How did you hear about us for the cruise passengers? Will you return for those who have been here? Did you come by cruise in the past? So trying to determine that number to see what they call it, the conversion rate. But anything else you want to share with us, Mom?
Yes, sir. I also want to talk about the South Terminal. When far as I can remember, when Country was building that mall over there, I don't think there was any South Terminal there at the time. But was something I heard on the news or the radio in regards that South Terminal would be a very good benefit to that area, especially to the Capano shop, big mall they have there. Sterling, they did the Royal Pier down and they got the shops down there, and they take majority of the cruise ships into this Royal Pier. And Sterling, I tell you right now, when the weather's a bit on the rough side, just getting ready to get surgery,
right?
Boats cannot dock up at Royal Pier, but here it is. They can dock up at North Terminal. I don't get the logic of that at all. So anybody can talk about that. Let's hear what the reason is that they cannot dock at Royal, but they can go to North Terminal to dock.
Right.
And that South Terminal is just a waste of money to sit there because they should be able to take care of everybody in every capacity. They only use it when they can't no better do. And I call it being spiteful. That's what I call it. But I know it's all about building this pier, and I hope that we'll hurry get this put to bed, and we can get a decision what we're going to do. We're going to build it or we're not going to build it. I say we do need a pier, Sterling, but not downtown Georgetown. That's all I have to say about it.
All right. Well, thank you very much for that consistent voice. And let's take our callers. We have about 3 or 4 or 5. Let's take at least the first one. Good afternoon. Welcome. You're on Talk Today. Hello. Good afternoon.
Hi, Sterling.
Hey, my friend. How are you today?
Doing pretty good. Sterling, just weighing in on the cruise berthing facility. I too believe that it has become a necessity that we do a port. But one thing that concerns me is that the government is insistent on the fact that it must be done in Georgetown and it must be done now. The difficulty that I have with that, as a citizen of this country, is the haste that is behind it, and the second most important thing is if the government is saying that the studies have shown that there's been no risk to our pristine beaches, then release that study and let we, the public, be fully persuaded by that document. It seems to me that I mean, if you're going to go and you're going to campaign for whatever, you will use every available fact that is available to you, every document, every bit of fact that is available to you, you will use to mitigate that this project is, this is worthy of going ahead. Why are we hiding these documents? Why are we hiding the documents? I mean, if it was such a nice glowing report, then I would have thought that the government would be out there, throwing high fives, saying, "This is what we got. This is from the experts here." But it seems to me like that is not the case, and so I personally believe that they need to start listening to, people like Captain Paul. I mean, those people is experienced. They have been around the globe, and they can tell you the effects. I mean, we don't need no scientists to come down here and tell us that. There will be effects from this. That is without question, Sterling. So I think that the government needs to slow it down a little bit, and they must remember that they did not have the mandate from the people, even though they may have campaigned, but they did not get the majority. That is why they have a coalition government. So I don't want to hear that nonsense about, we got a mandate from the people because they elected us. No, that's rubbish. They did not get the majority. So get the bridles on a little bit now, and let's do this thing. You're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars and the future of our tourism product. We need to take time, Sterling. I won't take up any more of your time. I know you have callers waiting. So thank you, and you have a good evening.
I appreciate the input from all of us. We do have some callers, and I believe quick, short voice notes as well. So we take some voice notes. They're not very long.
Hello. I'm wondering whether there's some technical problem going on today with the reception. When Mario Rankin was on, it wasn't easy to listen to him. It was like, it just wasn't easy listening. And this UCCI student, it's not easy to listen to him. I don't know whether it's the... I really hope that that student could be encouraged to go out tonight along with his co-classmates and speak up, because very hard to understand, get the points. It's not a flowing tone of voice.
Let's take our callers. Thank you for sharing and for waiting. Good afternoon. You're on Talk Today.
Good afternoon to you, Sterling.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, I won't get involved in the politics of the situation because it is politics. We're having a referendum. People are going to the polls. It's political. Deny that. And yes, we all know that the proper place for a doctor, we all know it should be Red Bay. But doesn't seem as if that's going to be. It's going to be built over the years by the different governments. The decision was in Georgetown. It's one thing people must, I think, need to remember about a referendum. We had a referendum when we had the general elections. This is another national referendum, and I believe, Sterling, that the Cayman Brac would also be involved in this. They would have to vote also, won't they? The two districts in the island of Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Am I right in saying that?
If there's a referendum, yes, they would
all
would
have to vote.
Yeah, all of registered voters.
The dock is being built in Grand Cayman.
But with respect to the general election, whereas it would be, de facto sort of a nod to a government, how would you respond to those people who say that the present composition of the elected 19 don't necessarily, especially for those comprising the government of national unity, that there isn't any clear mandate, since it's a composition of a number of individuals, some would call it a coalition of sorts, that there isn't any major mandate on anything. They have to sort of negotiate amongst themselves as to what should get priority.
What I'm going to say is this, precisely it has to deal with that. We had a referendum when we had that election. We elected people to be our voice. We're saying now that we have to give the people the voice on this, to give the people the decision-making on this. We did that when we had an election. We gave that's why we have elections. The only reason why, to give our people a voice in the House of Representatives. Please.
If I may ask you, in your analysis, let's take an issue that's topical, independence. Let's say that and this is by no means an indication of any of the 19, but let's say the 19 collectively, unanimously said, hey, we're going to take this country to be independent. The 19 of them agreed with that. The senior civil service, the FCO, everybody. Do you think that should be something, even though we elected them in a free and fair election, that the general populace, the electorate, should have a say as to whether they want to go, and if so, when?
Sterling, this may come as a surprise to you. Did you know with the island we use most as a guideline we talk about, and sometimes in a very bad derogatory way? Did you know that Jamaica did not have a referendum to go independent?
But respectfully, sir, we're not talking about Jamaica or the UK. We're talking about Cayman, and the presence now with respect to what people are saying is an important national issue, that there are those who are very much in favor of the government, of the port, and of the government doing the port in town, but they themselves, as they shared with me, not big statistics, they shared with me, they want to be able to give the government a clear mandate. Let's get a referendum so they can vote yes.
I understand what you're saying. I understand all that. We had a clear mandate when we had an election and they finally decided on who should make up the government between them, which is as it's done everywhere.
Right.
The point I'm making is this. We have got to come to a time to make a decision because it takes time and it takes away from others. That gentleman was saying about very important issues, and I disagree with him with that. You know, you cannot say it's just because of shop owners in Georgetown why they're saying put the dog there. I really don't think so, but that's just my opinion. But anyhow, the point is this. When are we going to say, well, this issue is not important enough? Who is going to make that decision for it to go to referendum? It takes time to set up a referendum. It divides people. Let us not get away from that. It's divisive. It is like elections. People be on one side, people be on the other, and then it's a divisive thing. The decision may not come out your way. You'll be divided for months after. You'll hear the talk and they're just the same, and you need other important things need to get done, very, very important things, and it takes away from that time.
Yes, sir.
And it also takes away the responsibility from our elected representatives to act on certain things on their own by the mandate and by the vote given to them to be our voice. When you say, well, okay, let's put this to referendum, then it takes away their ability to say, well, I better do this for my people, I should do this. Then we're going to referendum. I no longer have to make the decision. Let them make the decision for me again. What I'm trying to say is this. When will we come to a decision and say, well, this is most important, this is not important enough, even though lots of people may think so, to hold a referendum because it's time-consuming, it is divisive, and it does stop the government for quite a while, a delay.
But isn't that the same as a general election as well? Time-consuming and expensive, and
it is a delay. The thing is time. Time is important in the 4-year between periods of referendum. That's what an election is. A general election is a national referendum. You can have referendums. You have them in the states every day, but there are district things. There are district and things all over the little districts, but they're not national referendum. They have a national referendum every 4 years when they elect a president.
Fair enough.
You don't have any national referendums. England just had one, an important one, the Brexit thing. But that's it. But that's what I'm saying. It's a time-consuming thing. We have to make up our minds what is important enough. They're going to have to come to that decision. And do we have to have a referendum to make that decision? What's important enough? It can go on and on and on and on. We have elected men to do the job for us, make the decisions for us, and let them decide amongst themselves what is important and is this worth of a referendum? Can we solve the problem since information seems to be the problem some other way? Thank you very much for listening. Thought I just put that in.
Thank you for sharing that, sir. And I believe we got time for 2 final calls. Good afternoon. Welcome. You're on Talk Today.
Good afternoon, Dwayne. How are you today?
Oh, very blessed. How about yourself?
I'm blessed too. Can't say anything else but being blessed. I got a little bit concerned because I've been listening now for a little while, and your shows and OCs, and I have never heard Miss Georgette call in, and I miss her. I'm hoping that she's not sick.
No, we heard from her recently, but certainly appreciate your prayers, and maybe, those of us who are close can reach out to her just to give her love and prayers. Yes, certainly. Now,
a few callers back, you had a young man saying he's at the university here in Cayman, studying tourism. Now, that young man and many more younger people is who we have to be listening to, because they are going to be left with these bills to pay. Why I'm saying that? We do need a dock, but not in town. Not in town. How come that all these cruise ships has been coming in here for years and years and years. I remember about 2 years or so ago, around, it was in December, definitely, we had up to 11 ships. No Department of Tourism or anybody responsible for labor at these times and other times has ever seek to have Caymanians employed on these ships. There's Jamaicans. There's people from all over the Caribbean. Now all of a sudden these jobs is jumping up at us because they want to build a dock in town, which I think is a huge mistake. I don't care how many people say it's not going to be any damage to the 7 Mile area. Nobody in this world can tell you that, because God created that. God created all of that. I don't care who that is. If it was my mother, God rest her soul, telling me that, I would tell her, no, God created that. Now, on the cruises, sometimes, I've said before, I manage condos, 2 of them, Turtle Beach and Islands Club. Some of our guests were on cruises, and they said they'll never, ever do it again because it's never enough time. And I've been on cruises that have got right off. Got right off. I don't believe such things as we ain't going to get these ships anymore. It's only going to be mega ships. That's why it's such a big hurry. Let's finish the airport so that wouldn't be left half done and in a mess like the schools. Let's finish that. Then,
yes, well,
then see if we can, make a port, not in town, maybe fix up spots where any big ships, any Northwest out there, that's exactly where they're going to have to go. So let's fix that up. Make I tell you, Dwayne, and I know it's getting late. When you board those cruise ships, the night before they're supposed to dock in any island, any place that they're supposed, they open up their shops with everything that whichever port they're going into, and put a big sale. You know what the people tells the people? Don't you try to buy anything in those islands. And Cayman was named one of them.
Not even the water, right? Not safe to
That's
drink.
right.
Yes, well.
Because it is too expensive. I told Peter a couple of days ago, because the Panama cruise Panama Canal cruise that I went on was by myself. I told him a couple of days ago I had to speak to some of the passengers on the ship, because when the cruise director was saying, this is the places that they go in, this place, next place, some of the passengers shouted out, Cayman Island, one of the most expensive places that you can go, except this country and the next country and the next country. No. All you can see there is concrete. No. I had to speak up. I got high blood pressure through it, but my pressure went up higher. But anyway, not in Georgetown. And what's the big hurry? We're not finished. The airport now, it's been talk, because nobody is informing the public. It's been talk that the airport is even running out of money. So, please.
But the government's acknowledged that there have been some cost overruns, so we'll get that. Respectful, Imam, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us. And we'll talk to you again very soon. Let's take one final call. Good afternoon. You want to talk today?
Afternoon, Sterling. My last time, obviously. Very quickly, because it's always very interesting when Mr. Mickey calls in, and I think that it's only fair for us to have a level conversation. I just want to explain to Mr. Mickey that if his generation had done a better job, our generation wouldn't have to be fighting for what we have left. That's number one. Number two, when he talked about the 2009 referendum or vote for the Constitution, that wasn't a referendum. That was a forced vote by the government at the time to pass a reform Constitution, which gave us the power of referendum. So now that we want to express the referendum and express our right to use referendum, he's saying that we shouldn't use it. First of all, you can't have a referendum on everything. If he go and read the section of the Constitution, Section 70, and then Section 90, it clearly states that you have to prove that it's a matter of national importance in order to hold a people-initiated referendum. So you can't take every issue to referendum. So he needs to stop saying things that he's not clear of or he's not sure of, and we are not the generation that are going to do what he did, which is not a good enough job to leave the next generation something to work with. Have a good day.
Thank you very much, sir. Thanks to all of our callers. We want, hopefully, to continue to provide as fair and objective, as balanced a platform for you to share your thoughts. Again, on behalf of members of the government, we had expected to have them scheduled to come in and talk about the port. The political meeting is tonight, 6:30 at the Family Life Center. I know there's another, event on as well, but my thoughts and prayers are with those individuals. This is a national importance, so trust that you'll be able to be informed. Join us again tomorrow for the Buzz in the morning. Come back for Talk Today right after the midday news and midday meditation. We'll continue with our discussions as we lead you, in national discourse. Invite you to be an active, engaged, informed, and involved participant in this healthy democracy as we move forward. Just because we disagree doesn't mean we can't get along. Just because we get along, it don't mean that we agree either. 949-837 is a number to call if you want to dial 7 instead of 11. But hey, 1-800-5304-TALK is always there for you. Until tomorrow, be blessed.
Shaken yet standing firm. This is Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.